It's your boy Ty back here with the biggest tier list that I have ever done in my history on YouTube, I do believe. We've got, I think, 163 total cards because that's as much as this website can get up to without exceeding its limit. So I did leave a couple of kind of basically garbage men off the squad. If I do have any duplicates, I'm sorry. I added 163 people to the list. There's probably a couple of duplicates on here, but got a lot of good overall solid options on this list. But again, a lot of guys to go through. So if you want in-depth breakdown, not gonna be this. This is gonna be quick, rapid. Get your popcorn out. Gonna try to get through this in, I don't know, 25-ish minutes. That should be our ultimate goal. We'll see if I can make that happen. Let's start off with Carmelo Anthony, and as we dive into Melo, if you are new to my channel, make sure to smash that subscribe button on the road towards 120,000 subscribers. So as we have the GO tier around Melo up to C tier, I don't love the card though in general, to be honest with you. Again, no Invincibles, no end games. This is just our Dark Matter tier list. So, you know, guys like Jimmy Butler are gonna be higher on this than if, you know, Invincibles and end games were included. I'll go B tier with Jimmy. I don't mind the card at all. MPJ C tier. He's not bad. Vlado, I'll go C tier as well. Feel like a lot of these cards at the small forward position are okay, just not great. Zeke Naji, I'll go D tier. Not very good. Christian Braun, D tier. Again, not a card I do love. Desmond Bane, F tier. The card stinks in my team. Devin Booker, our first A tier option. We got all these Evo cards to get through first before we can do anything else. This Devin Booker, he's immaculate, man. He's got 50 base badges, a good release, decent dribble six. D-Book is A tier, no questions asked. KCP, not that bad. I'm gonna go C tier. His release is good, just a little undersized. Bruce Brown, I'll go D tier. Don't necessarily love the card. Caleb Martin, I'm going to go C tier. Look, you can argue Caleb Martin higher, and honestly, I don't hate it. My whole thing is he's 6'5". If you're 6'5", if you're that undersized, it's tough to put you above C tier. Basically, an invincible Jokic, I mean, I guess right now I'll put him at B tier. No, I'll put him at A tier. He might move down, though. Again, no Invincibles, no end games. Makes this a little bit more difficult. Adrian Dantley, I don't love the card. I'm going to go C tier. I've used him. I just feel like he lacks too many badges for me. C tier is the right option. Allen Houston, a bona fide scrub that can't play. He's D tier. Allen Houston stinks in my team. And if you grind it for Allen Houston, all I can honestly say is I'm sorry because the card is bad in my team. Allen Iverson, F tier, bona fide scrub. Alonzo Mourning up next. I think he's B tier. I just think Jokic is a little better version of like what Alonzo Mourning is. Both undersized power forwards that aren't bad. I think B tier is right for Alonzo Mourning. Amari Stoudemire, he's not very good. I guess C tier maybe. Not a huge fan of Amari Stoudemire. Amen Thompson, our first S tier card. When we don't talk about Invincibles or endgames, how many better point guards are there than Amen Thompson? There's two off the top of my head, but outside of those two, not many. Amen Thompson, absolutely elite, S tier in my opinion. Andre Iguodala, I'm going to go A tier. I know everybody hates on Andre Iguodala. I don't necessarily love the card. I don't necessarily think the most of him. Release easy to green, going to play good defense. I'm going A tier with the card. AK-47 up next. Let me ask you this. With AK-47, when you don't talk about Invincibles or endgames, how many better shooting guards are there? A couple probably. I'll go S tier with AK. I think he is deserving of that. I don't think I can go GOAT tier. Andrew Wiggins, C tier. I mean, he's fine. He's just not great in my team. Anthony Black, I'm going to go S tier as well. Again, these guys can be adjusted, but Anthony Black, Amen Thompson are both absolutely elite for their specific and respective prices. I don't mind either card. I actually like both cards quite a bit. Artis Gilmore, S tier. If you grinded my team unlimited, Artis Gilmore at 7'2", decent release, a very solid option, very solid guy to add to your squad. Asir Thompson, AK's better. Asir, I guess I'll go S tier. He might get moved down to A tier as we do go through things. This Ben Simmons, S tier. Hero Ben Simmons, GOAT tier. Okay, it's that simple. This Ben just lacks as good of a 3-point rating, lacks a few shooting badges. He's S tier easily. The hero Ben is an easy addition into GOAT tier. Bernard King, not great. Throw him in C tier. Bill Laimbeer, a bona fide scrub. He's F tier. If you can green boot with Bill Laimbeer, you can show me. Because if you can do that, he's solid. But other than that, not great. Bill Russell, I think I gotta go A tier. A guy like AK definitely clears Bill Russell, in my opinion, by a pretty wide margin. I'll go A tier Bill Russell. A little bit too slow of release for my liking. Bill Walton, right there with Alonzo Mourning. I think he's better than Amari Stoudemire. More similar to Alonzo Mourning than a guy like Amari Stoudemire. Blake Griffin up next. I don't love Blake Griffin. I'm throwing him in C tier. Some people like him because of his player build, player model. I get that. My whole thing is his release. It's just not good in my team. Bobby Jones, he struggles too. C tier, I guess he at least plays defense. Bob Nedelecki, I'm going to throw Bobby at A tier. If you want to argue S tier, I don't hate it. I just think AK overall is a better option, and that he does clear. Bob Pettit, I guess I'll go B tier with Bob Pettit. I don't love Bob Pettit, but he's better than Melo. He's better than Bobby Jones, in my opinion. Both Bulbos are going into GOAT tier. I don't care, man. Whether you like the interdimensional Bulbo or not, it's pretty obvious. He is deserving of GOAT tier. Obviously, the hero Bulbo is GOAT tier as well. It is that simple. We might have like, I don't know, 10, 15 players at GOAT tier by the end of this thing. Brad Daugherty up next. I like Brad. I'm going to throw Brad at... I'm going to throw him at B tier. I think that's where he belongs. I do like the card, though, and think he can play both the center and power forward position. I think that's pretty valuable. For an all-time spotlight reward, really solid. Brandon Ingram, a card I don't think is solid. C tier. I don't like his release. Don't love his movement. Not very good. Brandon Miller. I'm throwing him at C tier, too. You can hate me. I guess I'll go B tier. I do not think Brandon Miller is good, though. I'm going to be honest with you. I'll go B tier, but I do not like the card in my team. This Cade, B tier, I guess. I mean, some people don't mind this Cade. I just feel like his release is slow. His SIGs aren't great. I mean, he probably might be 8. I'm going to go B tier. I don't love that Cade. I don't see it with him. Cam Whitmore, still to this day, haven't used him. I'm going to put him at B tier. But honestly, I'm going to be honest. I have not used Cam Whitmore yet. So if he's good, you guys can tell me. I just personally haven't used him. Karan Butler, I'm going C tier. C tier is the tiers like just, man, you know, they can play, but they're not good in my team. That's where Karan Butler does lie. Case and Wallace, too small. C tier. I mean, you're just too small. Your SIGs are fine. You're just too small. Chet up next. Easy addition into S tier. Him and Bobo, it's a pick'em, man. I prefer Bobo. It normally is what I say, but again, it is a pick'em. Chris Bosh, C tier. I mean, he's not D tier, but the card's not very good. Chris Paul stinks. Absolute bona fide scrub. You know what? While we're down here, CJ McCollum. Is he? I'm putting him in your ear. I mean, I'm sorry, CJ. You are small. You are not very good in my team. Chuck Cooper. I like Chuck Cooper. You guys can hate me. I'm throwing him in B tier. For a free 3-minute grind, Chuck Cooper is absolutely fantastic. And wherever Earl Lloyd is, I just want to throw Earl Lloyd up there already, man. Because Earl Lloyd and Chuck Cooper, I'm telling you guys, for what they are really solid. I'm throwing both of them at B tier. Am I biased for them? Maybe. But I'm fine with doing it. I like them more than Clyde. That's my opinion on things. Clyde without the duo, I think, is C tier. Now, if you use the duo and get it with Arvidas, sure, you maybe can argue B tier. I don't love Clyde, though, when I have used the card. Danny Manning, I don't mind Danny Manning. I'm throwing him at B tier. Is Danny Manning the GOAT? Is he as good as Bob Nedelecki? No, but he is really, really good for what he is on the court. Decent 3-and-D option in my team. Dave Cowens, I gotta go A tier with Dave Cowens. He, in my opinion, is better than Bob Pettit. No, he's not. I'm moving him down. I'm sorry. I don't see it with you, Dave Cowens. Give me Bill Russell over you. I'm sorry. That's my opinion. Am I biased against collector level? Maybe. And that's okay, man. I'm fine with being biased against collector level. D-Rob up next. I'm going to throw him S tier right now. Just because if you're asking me right now at the power forward position, him or Artist, I actually like Artist quite a bit more. I'm going to go A tier with David Robinson. I don't mind the card, though, in general. DeMar DeRozan, B tier. Can't put him at A tier. He doesn't quite get to A tier, in my opinion. DeRozan is really good, though, in my team. And you can gas the card if you want. He is really, really solid in my team. Dennis Rodman stinks, D tier. His release is slow. Defensively, he's good, but every one of these cards defensively is good at this point. Darren Williams, I'm sorry. You are a small point guard. F tier. Derek Coleman up next. I don't mind Derek Coleman at all. B tier. B tier is the tier of like, you know what? You can use these cards and have success with them. I don't have a problem with Derek Coleman at all. You can use them and have a ton of success. Dikembe Mutombo, I'm putting him with the Artist. I think Dikembe at this stage is better than D-Rob. Just because he's taller, he gives you that little bit more defensively. I'm going to put him at S tier. You guys don't have to agree with me, but that's where I've got him. Dirk up next. I'm sorry, I'm gonna do this. I can't put Dikembe ahead of Dirk. I just can't. But I don't think Dirk's ahead of Jokic, so it's where we're got right now. This is where we're at. I'm an artist stan right now, but I'm okay being one. Domantas Sabonis, he's in the Brad tier, just a tier lower than Dikembe, than D-Rob. He's fine. You can use him and have success with him. Just don't think he's next level good. Don Ole, I guess I'll put you a D tier just because you do a little bit more. I do not love Don Ole in my team, but he does just a little bit more than these guys in F tier, and so does Donovan Mitchell. I don't love Donovan Mitchell, but he does some more than the guys at F tier. Draymond, B tier. Him and Cade, basically the same. They're just like, man, they're going to defend. They're going to be your traditional, just like, okay, point guard in my team. But let's be honest with ourselves. Are either of those point guards going to be like, wow, like, they're incredible? No, they're just fine. Like, that's all I can really say about him. D12, C tier, just a slow release. I mean, I guess you can argue. I'm going to argue in B tier. It's just release that just is too slow in my opinion. LJ Baylor's not bad, he's just undersized, but I think if you argue Earl Lloyd, Chuck Cooper in B tier, I'm gonna throw Elgin Baylor in B tier as well. Gary Payton, I'm gonna go C tier. I like him more than Donald, like him more than these garbage men at F tier. Is he great? No. Just because his release honestly is not good, but you can use him and have some success with the card. The Mikan Man up next. The Mikan Man in my team, I think he's got book release. I'll put him in B tier. I don't love George Mikan though in my team. I put him B tier because he's got a serviceable enough release. Is the card great though? No, he's very mediocre in my team. Gilbert, Agent Zero up next. I'm throwing him in C tier. Some people might argue B tier for Agent Zero because he's got a good jump shot. He can standing dunk, but I don't think he's good as the guys that we have at B tier. Glenn up next. I don't mind Glenn. I'm throwing him at C tier though. Give me Chuck Cooper, Earl Lloyd over Glenn Robinson, as crazy as you guys might think that may be. Grady up next. Hate me if you want. A tier. There's going to be another shooting guard that I put. Now, you know what? Asir's got to go down. He's got to go down. Asir and Grady are in the same tier. It's that simple. If I put these guys at S tier, I'd have to move a DeRozan up and Brandon Miller. Like, I don't want to have to do that. Grady, Asir, I'm going to put them both at A tier. They're both really solid options in my team. Gray Hill, he's just outdated. Like, Gray Hill objectively might not be C tier, but the card came out months ago. Nobody's going to look at Gray Hill and be like, wow. You know, like, he's just meh at this stage. Hakeem Olajuwon up next. I think I gotta go B tier. I like D-Rob more. I like Dirk more. I like Jokic more. I like Dikembe more. Hakeem's not bad though in my team. I just think B tier is the right option. Horace Grant at power forward. He's just undersized, man. I want to put Horace Grant at A tier because I have Horace. I just don't use him because he's so undersized in my team. The card's not that bad though. He's a better version of Alonzo Mourning. I gotta go B tier. He's just too undersized. Sigma up next. He's B tier too. Sigma is B tier. Sigma's release is almost too fast in my team. And I don't want to say it like that, but that's kind of the truth. It's almost too quick in my team to really do too much with it. Jalen Green is a bona fide scrub that can't play. I don't care that he's 6'6" with point guard eligibility. I don't care about anything. Jalen Green stinks in my team. I've used the card. His release is absolutely horrible in my opinion. Worthy Man up next. Worthy Man is your B tier small forward. If you want to argue Worthy over Bill Russell, you can, but I don't think he is. Now, you know what? I'm moving Worthy up. I like Worthy. I like him more than Cowens. I like him more than Pettit. I'm putting him at A tier. I think he deserves that. Ja, undersized. Too undersized in my opinion. I'll put him at D tier. If you want to argue C tier, I mean, have fun. I'm not arguing that. Jarris Walker, B tier. He's your B tier small forward. I mean, Danny Manning, Derek Coleman. That's the level of Jarris Walker. JJJ up next. I mean, I just struggle with his release. I guess I'll put him B tier because that's where guys like D12 are, but I do not love Jaren in my team. I want to make that very clear. Jason Kidd stinks. I mean, the reason he's out of F tier is because at least he's 6'4". He'll at least try defensively. Jason Kidd stinks. Jason Terry's not F tier because he got good SIGs, a good release. He's D tier though because he's really short in my team. Jeremy Lin stinks, F tier. Jeremy Lin his SIGs stink too. He is a bona fide scrub. Jermaine O'Neal, he's B tier. He's 6'11", good frame. His release is just horrible. And I don't want to say that about a lot of people because I feel like a lot of people don't have great releases. His release is bad in my team, let me tell you. Jimmy Butler up next. I actually like Jimmy Butler. I'm going to throw Jimmy Butler at A tier. You guys don't have to agree with me. I just think out of position Jimmy was at one time the best point guard in the game, and I still have respect for him. Release on very quick. It's kind of tough to contest. It's not going to be your primary ball handler, but I respect Jimmy more than Draymond, more than Cade Cunningham, even more than that shooting guard Jimmy. Joe Johnson, wherever Brandon Ingram is, I don't like either of their cards. That's just my opinion on things. I guess Joel Embiid can go at B tier. I'm excited for the end game Embiid, just so I no longer have to use a garbage Embiid in my team. Like, Embiid finally got a good card with the end game one, but man, these other Embiids reek. Hondo, absolutely horrible. John Havlicek stinks in my team. I'm going D tier. He's borderline F tier. He is that bad in my team. John Starks, D tier, not good at all. I mean, he's 6'3", but he's just not good. Stockton, I know your jump shot might be okay. I'm putting you at F tier, though. You are 6 feet tall. John Wall, your C tier point guard. He's undersized. That's why he's C tier, but good release, decent movement. I mean, he is C tier at the end of the day. Jonathan Isaac's going up, okay? And you guys can tell me where to stop for Jonathan Isaac. I'm going S tier, though. I think he's better than Bill Russell. I think he's better than Worthy. I think he's better than Bob. At that small forward position, I think he's F tier. You don't have to I think he's S tier. You don't have to agree with me, but that's where I'm putting Mr. Jonathan Isaac. Josh Smith, another really good card in my team. Another really good card. I'm putting him in A tier. I haven't used him enough to really comment on his release, but if you get his release down, I feel like he's definitely an A tier small forward. J.R. Smith up next. This is a tough one. I'm going to put him at B tier, but the high end of B tier. I would say high B, low A. I think his release is good. It's smooth. But is he really that much better than a guy like Cade? I mean, they're just different point guards. I don't think I can put him higher than B tier. Drew Holiday, one of the most underrated cards in my team. At 6'5", can play defense. I'm throwing him at C tier. I don't think he's higher than that. But if you got him in the all-time spotlights, you can play Drew Holiday. He's not that bad. Talk about a bad guy in my team. Julius Randle stinks. His release is baited. He stinks. I'm telling you that right now. Karl Malone, the mailman, A tier. Look, people are going to be like, oh, Ty, Karl Malone this, Karl Malone that. Look, he's A tier. Say what you want. If you don't want to use him because he's personally not a good person in real life, that's fine. But he's A tier. Like, that's how good he is in my team. KG up next, and let me tell you, KG is absolutely fantastic. You want to talk about S tier, that's where KG is. Is he GOAT tier? I don't think he's quite GOAT tier, but he definitely is really close. I'm putting KG at that S tier, no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Caleb, he's fine. Caleb's fine. I think, you know, he's gonna knock down shots for you. Is he I guess I'll put him at B tier. I don't love Caleb. He's going to knock down shots, though. I guess I'll put him at B tier because he's new. Kevin McHale up next. Small forward eligibility. I just don't really see anybody using Kevin McHale. Again, collector level bias or not, throw him right in there with Dave Cowens. I don't see it with Kevin McHale. Kevin Willis up next. I got to move Kevin McHale up because, I mean, I think he deserves A tier. Wherever Kevin Willis is, I'm throwing him at B tier. I don't love his jump shot, but he is 7 feet tall. He's going to at least try defensively. I do think he is B tier. We're flying through this, and we're going to continue. Keontae George, C tier. Fits that small type of point guard meta. Just not good. Chris Middleton absolutely reeks in my team, D tier. I wish we had a good Chris Middleton card. That one is just not it. Klay Thompson. I think Klay is borderline underrated. And people don't have to agree with me on that, but I don't mind his movement. I think his release gets a lot of hate for how good it is. I don't mind Klay Thompson at all. Kristaps Porzingis, even though it's the non-invincible one, is still magnificent. He's S tier. He's better than D-Rob, better than Dikembe. 16-bit KP is still S tier in my opinion. Kyle Korver stinks. C tier. He's not as bad as Chris Middleton, but the card is not good. Kyrie Irving, D tier. I mean, he at least has some height, but he is not good. LaMarcus Aldridge, another card I don't really rate that high. I'm going to go C tier. If you guys want to put him B tier, that objectively is fine. Lance Stevenson, C tier. I know he's 6'5", but he's basically, in my opinion, similar to Drew, right? They're different, but both 6'5" point guards. They at least have decent height, going to compete defensively. Not great in my team. Larry Marketing up next, B tier. He's fine. He's 7 feet tall. His release leaves a lot to be desired, though. Luka Doncic up next. Wherever I put Luka, he's GOAT tier. I mean, You guys don't have to agree. My opinion on Luka is he's magnificent. If you want a point guard that can create, not many better ones than Luka in my team. Malik Sealy, I do not like you. C tier. And like maybe it's my bias because you were once the best card and one of the best cards in the game. But this year you definitely are not. Manute, GOAT tier. It pretty much goes without saying. Whenever I put Manute on lists from now on, he's going to be GOAT tier. Like, he is that good. He's 7-7 in my team. What do you want me to say? Mark Eaton, definitely S tier. Not the best offensively, but defensively is really solid. His release is good enough. You can agree with it. Definitely deserving of S tier. Michael Finley is magnificent, too. I mean, if you've never used Michael Finley, go use him. The card is absolutely outstanding. I mean, I'm putting him at S tier. Is he GOAT tier? You could argue that. But I think there are better shooting guards, even the non-invincible ones, than Michael Finley. But again, if you get him in triple threat offline, he is absolutely incredible. MJ up next, B tier. He's got KPJ, good tendencies. I'm putting him at A tier. I think he's underrated. I mean, he's overpriced, but underrated at the end of the day. Mikal Bridges, I do not love you. C tier. I do not love Mikal Bridges in my team. I really, really don't. Both Yaos, I think we know where both these cards are going. I mean, it pretty much goes without saying. These Yaos are incredible. All Yaos are incredible. GOAT and GOAT. Obviously, you know, the Hero Yao is going to be better, but both are incredible. Mitch Richmond absolutely reeks. I'm throwing you at F tier. I don't care. You stink. Moses Malone, he's not that bad. B tier, probably at the power forward position. Can move a little bit. Decent release. Not great, though. Nat Clifton. Look, I wish he had shooting guard eligibility, but I like Nat Clifton. All the free spotlight cards that came out at the start of the year, Earl Lloyd, Chuck Cooper, Nat Clifton, all in B tier. I really do rate all of them highly in my team and think very highly of them as well. Jokic up next. No question, no doubt about it. GOAT tier for big Jokic in my team. Vooch. I'm sorry, C tier. I mean, he's a worse Hakeem. Hakeem's at B tier, Vooch at C tier. OG Anunoby, just undersized. I think he's B tier, but again, he's undersized. It's that simple, that easy. B tier is not the worst tier in my team. You guys got to realize that. That's not bad. Who is bad is Siakam. I mean, he's right down here with Julius Randle. Siakam is not good in my team. If you like Siakam, something's wrong with you. Patrick Ewing, another guy that stinks. D tier. I hate Patrick Ewing in my team. They could have given him at least a decent release. They made his release horrible. Leaves a lot to be desired. PG-13, good 6'9 frame. Good defense. Release stinks. Ruins the card. B tier. If he had a better release, I'd gas him, but his release stinks. Paul Pierce, release stinks. D tier. I know I'm going over a lot of these cards fast, but they stink. Westfall has a good release. That's about it. C tier. Penny Hardaway, you're not C tier. I like you, Penny. I actually think Penny Hardaway is one of the most underrated cards in my team. I think B tier is the right option. You guys could argue A tier, but I think B tier is the right option. Rondo, F tier. I mean, I'm just going to get rid of these F tier cards. Like, is there any other F tier cards? Halliburton stinks. Absolutely horrible. Any other F tier cards? Because I'm tired of scrolling. If a card's F tier, they're F tier. Steve Nash, not F tier, but he stinks. D tier. Rick Barry, not very good. D tier too. I mean, if you've ever used Rick Barry, you know I know what I'm talking about. Not very good. Ray Allen, not very good. I guess I'll give you C tier, but I really do not rate Ray Allen highly. Any other C tier or lower cards in here? Sidney Moncrief, you're not bad. You play some decent enough defense. C tier in there. Tony Parker, how did I almost forget you? F tier. All right, got rid of some of the garbage cans. Let's get back into it. Ralph Sampson. Ralph's incredible. And height runs the game, and so yes, my tier list is height biased, but Ralph Sampson, really, really good for what you need. S tier is the right spot for him. Not as good as Yao, but definitely really, really solid. Reggie Theus, 6'7", not a great release, but a decent release. I don't love the collector grind, but Reggie Theus, in my opinion, is A tier. I mean, not worth the grind, but if you do get Reggie Theus, he can play in my team. Rick Smits, man, we've got to go all the way up with you. we got to make the hike all the way up. Rick Smits, GOAT tier. I know we've got a lot of big guys at GOAT tier, but that's who runs the game. Tall players in my team. I know once upon a time I had Penny Hardaway above Ron Artest. This is my public apology. I'm sorry, Ron Artest. You're deserving of A tier. You're no Amen Thompson or Anthony Black, but you are indeed A tier. Rudy up next. I vouch for Rudy about as much as anybody else, and I always have and probably always will. I love Rudy in my team. Is he S tier? No, he's A tier. Tier below. He's not as good as Michael Finley. He's a Sir Thompson, Grady level. of a tier. Rudy Tomjanovich, I really like Rudy. And you guys know, if you've watched the Nobody Spent, that I do like the card. He's A tier. I say low into A tier, but 6'8", decent release. I do think the card is deserving of A tier. Sarunas, I don't love you, man. And you're going to have to take some tough love here. If you want to argue Sarunas above C tier, somebody needs to play with him and show me. Until then, he is C tier to me. Scotty Barnes up next, A tier. Scotty Barnes is incredible in my team. You could honestly, I'm going to argue S tier. Scotty Barnes is good. Release isn't necessarily the best, but Scotty Barnes is really, really good in my team. And that release isn't even bad. It's not the best, but it's definitely not bad in my team. Sean Elliott, I'm going B tier with Sean Elliott, DeRozan, Paul George level. I don't love his release. He's fine in my team. SGA, your perfect B tier point guard. I don't love SGA. I think, you know, there are cards that have gotten way better than SGA has, but I still think at this point, he is deserving of B tier. Sean Kemp, 6'10" at the 3. I'm going to throw him in B tier. If you want to throw Sean Kemp in A tier, though, I'm personally not going to. Nah, you know what? I'm throwing him in A tier. Josh Smith, Karl Malone, that's the level of Sean Kemp. Steven Jackson up next. I like him. 6'8" at the shooting guard position. Decent release, decent sigs. Throwing Steven Jackson at B tier. I don't mind the card one bit, especially for our all-time spotlights. Not bad at all. Terry Cummings, C tier. I just don't think he's quite to that next level of you know, the Jarris Walker level. But Terry Cummings is not bad in my team. Terry D, we're going all the way up with you, Terry D. Tell me where to stop. S tier or A tier? Where do you want me to go? Right now, I'm throwing him in S tier or Go tier. Right, I guess I'll throw him at Go tier. We'll have that debate eventually. Terry, if you know how to use him, is absolutely elite in my team, and I am not going to argue against that. Tim Duncan up next. I mean, him and LaMarcus Aldridge, I'm not going to say they're the same player, but to me, they're very similar in which, what do they really bring to the table? What do they really give you on the court? To me, it's not much. TT, again, we'll have the debate eventually. I'll throw them all at GOAT tier for now. Where's T-Mac? We're throwing them all at GOAT tier for now, and then we'll have the all-important debate on, are they going to stay or are they going to go? But throw them all there at S tier now. Victor Oladipo, you're going D tier. I don't like the card very much. Wemby, I mean, we all know where Wemby's going, don't we? Don't think this Wemby is S tier. This Wemby is GOAT tier. I mean, if you don't have the invincible Wemby, it's fine. The other next Wemby is absolutely incredible. Still deserving of GOAT tier in my team. Vince Carter is absolutely elite. I feel like because Earl Lloyd came out, it kind of ruined the Vince Carter hype. I still think Vince Carter is A tier. I think he is really, really good. Kind of slept on at this stage in my team. Vlade is C tier. I think Vlade gets a lot of hate. He's not very good, but he's better than Patrick Ewing. Wes Unseld at that point guard position, he's going up. I think B tier is the limit for Wes Unseld. No, he's A tier. If Jimmy Butler's A tier, so is Wes Unseld. I'm sorry, I don't make the rules. That's the way it's got to be. Wilt is still up next. B tier is as high as I can go. I know defensively he's going to get the job done, but man, that release is not good. Zach LaVine is D tier. You can argue me if you want. Zach LaVine is not good in my team. Zach Randolph up next, C tier. I know I hooped with him on the No Money Spent when I had to. Objectively, though, the card is not great, not ideal in my team. That's going to wrap it up for the list because Danny Manning I had in there twice. So let me know your thoughts on the list down below in the comments. And here's what the zoomed out tier list ultimately does look like. I got to zoom way out for you guys to even see this tier list. It is absolutely crazy how many cards we had on here. Over 160 cards, got through in what, 30-ish minutes. That is not bad at all. Let me know your thoughts down below on the tier list, guys. Drop a like on the video, subscribe if you're new, and as always, man, I love you guys. Have a blessed day.